Marriage burnout is real. Here are the red flags to see if you're in a dysfunctional relationship. First of all, you are not going to feel like yourself. There's going to be so many things kind of waving around you in your environment, and you're not even going to be able to feel like you are stable within yourself. And some of these things that are going on in the environment are blame shifting, gaslighting, disrespect, secretiveness, the constant arguing without getting anywhere, the put downs, the sarcasm, the criticism. That's the red flags. If you're inside of that relationship, those are red flags that you're in a dysfunctional situation, and you can get totally burnt out on that. And so it's kind of like, what do I do? I know that's the environment I'm living in, but what do I do? Because you're not ready to leave. You're just now noticing this. And what you have to do is self-center. So first of all, if you can do some energy checks to where you start journaling, where your energy is flowing and going and good, and where your energy is being drained from you. You got to figure that out first. And then, of course, we know that those things I just listed, all those red flags, are going to drain your energy, which means you move away from who you are and who you were established to be in your own purpose. And you're not going to live a fulfilling life inside of a marriage that you feel stuck in or abused in. And so then what you want to do is figure out the patterns, like the cycles. What is happening? What's the things that are going on that look like a dance that's toxic inside of your relationship? Because some of it might be you, and you can only fix you can't fix the partner. And so if you can start to look at the pattern and what's happening in the dance, what is the action, the reaction, the action, the reaction cycles, then you can figure out places that you can change. And when you start to figure out where you can change, you can then experiment with that change inside of the dynamic. Now, over time, if you're doing all you can do to change, and you're even getting some side coaching on the side to figure out how you can change, and you're getting better and you're feeling better, but the better you feel, the more disconnected y'all are as a marriage. That's a sign, because that means you're starting to outgrow your partner, and your partner's being left behind. And that will happen if someone actually gets some help and the partner's unwilling. So then you got to figure out if your partner's willing to do some work. And that has to start with a conversation. You have to tell them, listen, I can't stay and live like this. Let them know you're not necessarily threatening a divorce today, but you are saying that I can't live. This is not livable for me. And you have to convince them that something's got to change. And you got to figure out if they're even willing to. If they're not, you continue on your journey until you empower yourself enough to feel strong enough to then have clearer pathways to know what to do. If they are willing, let them join you, because if they start to join you, then that means they are open, which is what you need for change, is to be transparent, authentic, vulnerable, which is nothing more than openness. And then that means that they want to save the relationship, and they know and are very well aware that it's going down fast, and they have some investments in the relationship they want to salvage as well. And so if you figure out the patterns of the cycle and then start doing some self-care, where you're empowering yourself in getting to know yourself again, your values, your desires, your passions, your interests, and start really focusing on that, because a toxic marriage can get you really derailed from yourself and what you really love. And so that's how you become very dysfunctional inside of the dysfunction. And so if you know that these things are going on in your marriage and you are now just becoming awake or aware of them, you need to do some centering work by yourself and get yourself squared away so that you can then feel empowered to make whatever decisions or offer whatever options you want to give to your partner. Set limitations on anything that you see is draining your energy. When you do your energy drain stuff, you're going to see what's draining it. And some of it is just having those interactions. So you start setting some limits. You tell them, I don't want to talk about this right now. I'd like to talk about this in such and such a date, or tomorrow, or later, or when we're calmer, or whatever. Start setting some limits. Stop pouring out of people-pleasing behaviors. Well, I've got to do this, or my partner's going to be mad at me, or whatever. If you do not feel that it's the right thing for you to do, like if you're in good character and you are a responsible person and you're doing the responsible thing and they're wanting more and more and more and doing less and less and less, then start saying no. And you can say no nicely. You just say, well, I'd like to do that for you, but I don't think I'm going to be able to put that in my schedule. They may not like it, but you're starting to set some boundaries and you will feel more empowered. Again, you may feel disconnected from them for a little while, but that's okay. A change is about to occur as you start to do the change. If you want more information, please subscribe, leave any comments, and let me know what you think.